As you can see in the slide, you can use the options. If not, you don't want to mention the number specifically, you can use the options there. So I would like to continue. So we see that some of them have many of them have seen your phone just 3 or 4 times in the past 1 hour. So today we'll look at why we have why those tiny checks adds up and what they do to our motivation and stress. So imagine you finish a lecture and grab your phone to check just one message or something that your professor or someone or some friend has sent, and 5 minutes later you see yourself scrolling through memes and reels and everything, right? And at the end you will feel like what I have done, I've wasted my time, right? So let's move on. So the science of dopamine. So what do you think is dopamine? So many of them say that dopamine is a neurotransmitter, it's a chemical, right? So let's look beyond that. So dopamine is just not just a pleasure chemical. It can be said as a chemical that is of wanting or a motivating chemical, right? So it is said that it fires when we anticipate some reward, and it drives the anticipation, it drives us towards doing some action, right? So it drives us to the drive that we have, it will make us to repeat the action again and again in order to get that particular reward that we think, that we anticipate we'll get, right? For example, the thought of a notification causes more drive to check than actually reading it gives pleasure. So let's say you're sitting in a calm environment or in your room or wherever, and then there is this notification, and you will have this curiosity to know what is the notification about. Okay, from which app? What is the notification? Did I get this message? Something like that. And then the curiosity, the pleasure, the dopamine effect that you have there is not actually there when you actually see the message that's sent, or see the particular notification that you're opening it, right? So focusing into dopamine dilemma. So it is said that it's a modern condition in which our brain are overstimulated by easily accessible high dopamine activities. For example, looking into this definition, I just came up with an example. Let's say we open Instagram and we just keep seeing reels again and again. So those reels, when you keep stimulating your brain again and again, seeing so many reels, one video after the other, right? So you will have these micro rewards with 1 or 2 videos there. Not all the videos are of your preference. Just 1 or 2 videos will be of your preference, right? So at that point, after a long time, you will keep looking into the other video, again, the next video, just looking forward for the one that you want, right? So after some time, it will be like when you check the time, it's been hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, right? So at the end, you will feel some chronic stress and dissatisfaction. That is the macro stress, right? So when I was researching, or when I was searching for this, I came across a very interesting research where he explains about the difference between the wanting and liking. Okay, so he explains that dopamine is released in anticipation of a reward, not just upon receiving it. So here he says that like is something about pleasure, something about enjoying it when we are consuming that particular reward. And he says that it is conscious experience. For example, let's say you're eating your favorite dish and then you experience the taste and everything, right? So it is dopamine independent and it is fragile. It says fragile in the sense it fades along the time. But wanting is because of motivational drive and cravings to obtain a particular reward. So they say it can occur even without pleasure. So wanting is something subconscious and it's dopamine driven. And there is a lot of attention grabbing here. And that's why we can say that wanting has a strong connection than like, right? So he also said this came up with this incentive sensitization theory of addiction. So he says that he has related it with drugs. So what he says that when you frequently keep consuming drugs and any cues related to drugs, there is hypersensitivity sensitization that happens. And what happens is that at the end you are compelled, you're craving and wanting that particular drug, even though you don't like it, you crave for it. Right? Many of them who are drinking, it's not like they like the taste of it or something. It's just because they keep using it again and again. At the end, it becomes a habit for them, and they crave for that again. Right? So this craving becomes disproportionately stronger than the actual pleasures or liking derived from it. So driving continued drug use despite potential negative consequences. Even though there are so many negative consequences, they leave all that. So that is what wanting does to you, right? So the addiction that you go through, everything, despite the negative consequences, you do a particular act. That's addiction, right? So he says that wanting can occur without liking and vice versa, right? And then while liking is providing some positive reinforcement because of some good experience, but wanting alone
ఈ
can.
హోంవర్క్స్ ఫాస్ట్ గా చేసేసుకో. ఇవాళ 1 or 2 అయిపోయేటట్టు చూసుకో. స్టార్ట్ చేస్తావు అసలు.
So wanting alone can drive goal-oriented behaviors for survival, such as food and mates or thirst and all that. So next is a reward prediction error. So let's say, we have some exam here, and then I thought I'll just score pass mark, but then I got 80% of mark, which is more than what I expected, right? So the dopamine spike that you'll have is a lot. The same goes here. For an example, when an unexpected like or message causes a bigger spike than a predictable one, that surprise keeps us coming back, right? So let's say, like when it comes to this social media, let's say we have posted one picture in Instagram, and then you didn't expect you'll get much likes. Maybe you expected 50 or something, but in less time you have got 100 likes, right? From all your important friends and everyone, you have got 100 likes. And then that is a big surprise for you. So the next time, what happens? You will keep checking on it again and again. Or maybe it's the like count is increasing now, or I have more comments now, right? So when this happens, there is this dopamine spike, and that makes you do the action again and again. The repetition will be there. So looking into the habit loop, so when you're having a particular cue, or let's say you're having some notification in your phone. Okay, you're sitting and you're having on your phone in your hand, and you're having some notification there. That ding sound is there. And then next, you have this craving, the urge to know what is there, what is the notification about, right? And then the next action is that you go and open the app. Okay, whichever app it is, you open it, and then you check the reward. Is there any like or comment, or is there anything that you crave for, that you want? So this is a loop that happens. So altogether, when you think about this process, you can say that you can see the dopamine as an engine that makes you want something. And the reward prediction error is the accelerator pedal here that revs up when something surprises you, right? So this reward prediction error keeps uh, accelerating the kind of dopamine spike that you're having. So that's what they're saying. So let us look into this micro rewards. So we have digital rewards. On a day-to-day basis, we go through a lot of rewards. So looking into all that, it might be a notification, it might be just snacking it in the night, just otherwise refreshing Instagram, looking into reels again and again, all that. So going forward. So there are some digital triggers for these micro rewards. They are notifications, badges, infinite scrolls, streaks, rewarded feedback loops, likes and reactions, right? So all this. And then everyday triggers beyond screen is that sugary snacks. They say that in the night you crave for the most fatty edible substances, right? So then binge watch cliffhangers, checking work mails or for praises, and then quick chat replies. Lots of small wins across contexts add up. So we have this habit very, frequently. Everyone does this, most of them, right? So when we go to sleep, right at that time, let me check messages, let me check email. So all that actually is a kind of reward that you're having. So, do you think these micro rewards will inhibit your long-term goals, long-term rewards? So, it says that small and frequent dopamine hits can steal time and motivation away from bigger and slower rewards. Let's say we are looking, see, for example, the example that I said itself, that person just went to look into some one message that some person sent. But what happened? He or she spent the whole time looking into reels and a lot of time went off, right? So this will keep you away from achieving bigger and slower rewards. And there is this variable ratio reinforcement, which is the most powerful reinforcement because, see, you will keep doing, and this reward is not of a predictable number of, after a predictable number of responses. It comes on a random count. Random count. So what happens? You will keep looking for that particular reward. So this makes micro rewards more addictive, right? So you don't know when you'll get the reward. So of course you will be like checking, okay, fine, when I'll get the particular video that I want, when I'll get the particular gift I want, whatever. Right? When you go for video games, you need to keep playing to the playing hours, the rewards and everything. Even in PUBG, to get the new costumes and everything, you keep playing. You don't know when you'll get. So they say reward is given after an unpredictable number of responses. Most powerful. It is the most powerful reinforcement, and the uncertainty keeps us engaged and motivated. When you know something, you'll be certain. You'll be like, okay, fine, this can be done, and it's enough. But when it's uncertain, it keeps your curiosity high, and you keep doing it. You keep doing it again and again. For example, compare it to a slot machine. A gambler never knows if the next pull will be the jackpot. So they keep pulling. Social media platforms use this same principle with notifications like likes and comments. You post, but you don't know if or when you'll get a like. So you keep checking, right? Even when you post a story, when you post anything, you keep checking, okay, fine, when will be the first like? When will be the first comment? What will be the first comment? We'll keep checking. So this variable ratio reinforcement plays a very important role in the cycle. Looking into the macro stress of the dopamine dilemma, what happens is that when we keep receiving this small dopamine releases, small rewards, it desensitizes the mm, the original cycle, right? The original rewards that we feel, the original satisfaction that we might feel, right? So when the brain adapts to so many small anticipatory constant stimulations, the more we engage in micro reward behaviors, the more our dopamine receptors become desensitized. When you keep on receiving micro rewards, and your dopamine receptors are also becoming desensitized because they are getting used to those rewards, right? So hence, the level of satisfaction, you won't get it easily. You need more of it to get satisfied. And hence, there is this fulfilling cycle. The desensitization that happens, that leads to the constant need of a person to have this external validation and instant gratifications. So it makes it harder to find satisfaction in activities that don't provide instant rewards. So they say that this is an instant reward looking world, right? This generation, they all want this instant things, instant gratification. They need that, right? So, and that's because we don't have the patience. That's one thing when we ask. But on the other side, we want this thing to be done fast and you will get the reward also. We don't want to wait for the long term and we don't want to experience these meaningful things. That is also there. So some of the key stressors. So first one is reduced attention span. So when I looked into researchers, it was said that maybe 10 years back, our attention span was 12 seconds. And after a few years now, 5 years back or something, they have done again the same thing, the research. And then it is found that it is just 8 seconds now. It is reduced by 4 seconds, right? So we just keep scrolling reels again and again. Sometimes we don't even have the patience to see the whole reel, we just scroll it. So it's like our attention span is getting reduced. So constant context switching between micro rewards trains the brain to crave novelty, making it difficult to focus on single task. The concentration that we have, the attention that we have, everything is getting reduced because we are switching context after context, looking for that one particular reward, micro rewards that we want, right? So, and there is also this FOMO, this fear of missing out. So if I just switch off this phone and keep aside, what am I going to miss out? I should not miss out. It should always be on and I should know whatever is happening, right? I should be there. That anxiety, that fear that we face, that also has a hand in this. And then sleep disruption. So that's because our melatonin starts, for women particularly, our melatonin release and everything starts from afternoon. But what happens when you go towards the end of the day and the night time? We obviously have, most of them have this habit of using phone, checking, and this phone has Blu-ray lights, right? So this is an artificial light that goes against this sleep cycle, right? The melatonin release and everything. So this creates a big sleep disturbance, and the constant mental stimulation of checking for rewards can interfere with the sleep cycle. So during sleep, many of them have this habit of seeing reels, watching reels. So what happens? They keep scrolling, the whole night is over, right? The sleep cycle is completely disturbed now. So this is what happens. Then erosion of intrinsic motivation. Our brain becomes accustomed to external artificial rewards, making it harder to find the internal motivation for personal growth and long-term goals. So when you have intrinsic motivation, mostly goes by like, that is a pleasure that you feel. But this reward, external reward that you're getting, it is reducing that, which is becoming a want now, right? So looking into some of the strategies to rebalance this, the first thing that you can do is dopamine fast or dopamine detox. So you can introduce those temporary breaks that you need from all these micro rewards based on stimulations, having a goal as to reset the brain's reward system. Maybe during the weekend or something, you can just keep your phone on just a silent mode or something and can need not use it, just to take a small break from all those things. And there is one more thing that you can do. You can just off the notifications and then just focus on mindful work, those important long-term goals that you need to achieve. That will also help. Next is mindful consumption. So they're saying instead of scrolling phone, just like that, you can focus on one particular thing that you would like to improve. And then intentionally, you can use the technology based on that. For example, in today's generation, we all use mobile phones and other devices to learn. So what you can do is instead of you getting into all these Instagram and all that, you can just intentionally, you want to learn about, so today's topic is dopamine dilemma. So I'll just take that as an example. So I want to learn about dopamine dilemma. So I will search on that particular topic and I'll learn on it. Instead of simply scrolling, you can intentionally use your device to scroll on something, actively scroll through something and learn something. That is mindful consumption. Next is cultivating intrinsic rewards. So you can provide actionable steps to find satisfaction activities that provide long-term internal rewards. So you can engage in hobbies or spend time with nature. You can go for a walk, practicing mindfulness and meditation, focusing on deep work without any distraction. So all these will help. Then you can also set boundaries. So this time to this time, I'm not going to use phone, or in this particular space, I won't use phone. I'll be without phone. All these will help. And there are many more strategies that we can use as well. So to conclude, I would say that the dilemma is that the micro rewards provide a quick hit of pleasure, but lead to macro stress and dissatisfaction. The rewards that we think we are getting is actually leading to macro stress and dissatisfaction at the end of the day. So I would like to conclude by saying that it's time for us to work towards taking back control of our attention and finding genuine, long-lasting fulfillment. Thank you. If you have any doubts, of course, you can come up with the doubts. I'll try to answer as many as possible.
Hello, am I audible?
Hello, is someone speaking?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
I have one question related to anticipation of reward. You have told, I have a question like, how does the anticipation of reward differ from the actual experience of reward?
So when you're actually experiencing it, see, they have said that you will experience that pleasure when you're actually experiencing it. But when it comes to anticipating reward, you are thinking that you will get this kind of reward and doing it. That is anticipation of reward. So that will crave or will motivate you to perform a particular act. And that is when this loop happens.
Thank you so much. And what role does cognitive dissonance play when we indulge in micro rewards we know cause macro stress later?
So looking into this, okay, fine. So we all know that looking into reels will not help us. Well, looking into reels for a long span of time might not help us. But at the end, our brain also says that we all know, we are consciously aware that all this is not good. It is waste of time. But then our brain tries to find points so that just 5 more minutes, just 10 more minutes. It says that kind of thing, and then we just end up doing the same thing again and again, right? So this kind of cognitive dissonance is there when you experience uh, this when you're using phone or anything. Hesha, have I
Thank you so
answered your question?
Yes, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Okay. So any more doubts?
Hello.
Hello.
Actually, we know that long-term consequences are there. That means so many damages are there. Even this micro level of rewards getting stuck with our long-term, it stops our long-term goals. But still,
Yes.
there is a struggle between the mind. So how can we deal this struggle actually?
So that's the cognitive dissonance that we're experiencing. So what we can do is that maybe we consciously take a step ahead and make time that we are going to use only this much time in phone, and the others we are going to use it mindfully. And even in today's time, you cannot survive or you cannot do things without phone. So maybe I said, right, the methods, like you can consciously, intentionally choose a topic or something that you would like to research on or something that you would like to learn, and then actively use phone. Mindfully, you can use any device that you're using. And if it is not needed, keep a reminder that it is not needed and just keep it aside. And maybe you can keep this, there is so many settings available in today's mobile phones that you can keep the time span that you're supposed to use. And after that, there'll be a notification you're supposed to switch off the app. Right? So all those kind of things can be done so that it will slowly get diverted. It is not maybe possible for many people to all of a sudden to stop using these mobile phones and other things with getting these micro rewards and all, but slowly, consciously, when you make an effort, it will slowly change.
I tried before, but actually the point is, I tried at least 1-2 hours without doing, without showing, seeing the shots. But suddenly somebody called me,
Yes.
and I get into the involving into that call. Afterwards, suddenly my fingers are going into the shots, and I'm getting stuck. And after 1 hour, I got realized and feel guilty and regret.
Yes.
So that is a problem.
Yeah, so maybe you can keep a reminder for yourself that we should not use phone. And maybe if you're using phone, just use for that one particular thing and keep it. You should force yourself to, to stay in a particular line. You have to set boundaries for yourself. So that is what helps a lot.
Anything
And
which
maybe
is
give yourself a big reward when you're not using phone for a lot of time, or when you're not using phone unnecessarily for a lot of time. You can give yourself a reward. That will help a lot. So looking forward for that big reward, you might stop looking forward to this micro rewards.
Excuse me,
Sir,
madam. This is VS from madam. Madam, how could impact this continuous sharing of reels on kids in mental and physical?
could you come again, please?
If children watches these reels continuously, how could it impact on their mental and physical health?
So the first thing is, when they are watching reels or any videos, they are going to sit in one place for a lot of time. They keep scrolling. I have seen many people, even in GH or whenever I go for postings, I'm seeing people, even while sleep, they are just having this hand finger movement, which is not good at all. They're getting used to that one thing. And then their motor movement is reduced, their attention span, everything gets so reduced, and the sleep pattern is also disturbed at that point, because they are so curious to get into the other app, the next video, to explore that. But I think parents can get involved in this and limit their screen time maybe, and help them get involved in other activities. That might help a lot. And when using phone for a lot of time, and you watching videos again and again, will is actually going to affect their cognition and every aspect of them actually. So on a long span, it is not a good thing.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Ms. Ganya, if that's the case, I think whether it could dopamine literacy become a necessary skill in the digital age?
Of course, dopamine literacy is where you know how dopamine is working, and what are all the activities that is releasing dopamine, and how it is going to affect your life and everything. Right. So when you're learning about that, when you have good amount of knowledge about that, that will help you to stay away, and how much ever is wanted, you will take that. So it will help you to stay in control. It will help you to stay and live a very healthy lifestyle. Actually, it's a very important thing in today's time.
What is the actual dilemma here, ma'am?
Sir, the actual dilemma is that when we are using any stimuli or anything that is giving us micro rewards, small rewards, we are losing up on the actual reward that we are supposed to focus on. So there is this dilemma. The dopamine pathway that we naturally have is getting confused here. So that is a dilemma that's focused on.
Dilemma is used whether to use stimulants or depressants. Generally,
Yes, sir.
dopamine to use dopamine agonist or antagonist. There is a dilemma in that. So here the dilemma is to use mindless scrolling or to use selective scrolling. That is the dilemma.
Yes, sir. So when we do mindful scrolling, when we do mindful consumption of all this, it will really help. That's what it is. So it will help reduce the dilemma. And people are actually struggling to use any device or any food or anything, food consumption or drugs or anything. So to use it according to the need, according to whatever is needed, they are struggling to do that. So instead they get into this the loop that they have, and they keep doing the same action again and again. So to reduce this dilemma, we are supposed to consciously make an effort and consume it mindfully. The consumption should be mindful. That's what I'm coming to say.
Do you ultimately become dopamine resistant over a period of time?
So we
Dopamine,
won't.
have you heard of dopamine resistance? A person becoming dopamine resistant, like insulin resistance.
Yes, sir.
Do you get dopamine resistance if you keep getting these micro hits all the time over a period of
sir.
5 to 10 years?
Yes, sir. So
Has it
actually,
been
it's
described? Has it been described in literature?
yes, sir. It is there.
Dopamine
So
resistance.
yes, sir. It is there. It is said that when we are getting used to these small, all these rewards, let's say even a drug addict or that person gets used to those kind of drug-related rewards. And so he fails to respond to the natural motivators and factors. So here we can actually observe this dopamine resistance happening.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Madam, for myself, when I get stressed and disturbed, usually I would like to see comedy scenes and comedy skits before sleeping.
Yes, sir.
I was habituated to that. Every day, without watching these comedy scenes or skits, I am unable to sleep. Is it good or bad?
Sir, when it is actually disturbing your long-term work that you have to focus on, if it is disturbing your sleep, then it is bad. But if you're reducing the screen time and having a limit towards it, maybe that then it is good. So here it is not like even we are not saying that even the normal micro rewards that you get is a problematic, but the type of consumption that you're doing, how compulsive it is, and how long the goal, everything has an impact. So that is what we have to focus on.